I'm Benny Ming from the Wing Chun Museum. I'm here to do a videotape on the most popular Wing Chun in the 20th century, which is known as the Yip Man system. Wing Chun is a Southern shouting system, which started more than 3 centuries ago. The most well-known today, known as the Yip Man system, is really came about during the 50s. It's made known by Grandmaster Yip Man, along with his many great students, including Bruce Lee, which transferred the art into international status.
Sifu Benny Ming began his Wing Chun Kung Fu training in Hong Kong in 1982 under the movie star Sifu Li Hoi Sang, a student of Xiu Wan. Xiu Wan had completed training in the Wing Chun system through Shan Yu Min in China prior to beginning his training with Yip Man. Sifu Benny Ming's training under Li Hoi Sang was interrupted after 2 years of intense study by his return to the United States. He resumed his training under Sifu Mo Yat in New York City in 1985. He completed his first trip through the entire system in 1986 and officially started training Wing Chun in 1987. In 1994, Sifu Benny Ming began another journey through the system with Sifu Mo Yat. The goal of both the teacher and student was to examine the details and deeper aspect of the art form in totality. With Mo Yat's blessing, Sifu Benny Ming began another journey through the system in 1995 via extensive private lessons with his sibak, a Kung Fu uncle, Yip Ching. This course of study was completed in November of 1997. In 1998, Sifu Benny Ming was certified as a senior instructor by the Wing Chun Athletic Association of the Yip Man lineage in Hong Kong. The above training gave Sifu Benny Ming a comprehensive understanding of the system passed on by Yip Man. To broaden his knowledge of the original system, Sifu Benny Ming sought further training from lineage separate from Yip Man. Sifu Ming had the privilege of studying under Sifu Garrett Ji of the Hong Fai Yi Wing Chun lineage. Sifu Benny Ming's passion for Wing Chun research has been fueled at an ever-accelerating rate by his position as curator of the Wing Chun Museum. Literally hundreds of books and tapes on Wing Chun history, teaching methods, applications, and interpretations have flowed into the museum. Each is viewed, read, and analyzed by Sifu Benny Ming and the Wing Chun Museum Committee for inclusion in the museum and incorporation into the museum's curriculum. In October of 2001, Sifu Benny Ming was featured on the cover of TC Media's premier magazine, Kung Fu Qigong. As a frequent contributor to the magazine, Sifu Benny Ming's well-researched articles aroused even more interest in the art of Wing Chun. This video was produced as a joint venture between Sifu Benny Ming, the Wing Chun Museum, and TC Media to further shed light on this authentic fighting art.
My name is Benny Ming. I'm the curator of the Wing Chun Museum. Welcome to the third tape series of the Yip Man Wing Chun system. This tape is going to be covering Chum Kiu, which is the intermediate level of the Wing Chun system. Chum Kiu in Cantonese again means searching the bridge. Let's analyze what does that really mean. Okay, Chum, searching. A lot of people look at it as searching the bridge as though you're looking for your opponent's bridge, such as a hand or feet. But in essence, you must look within yourself. So you are actually searching your own bridge. Everyone have 2 hands and 2 legs. So what does that mean in training? Is that you're looking for the proper body conditions, body structures, and coordination to go along with it. Because now that you have to learn how to move within the motions, within the movements, if your structure breaks down, then you're going to have a problem. So therefore, you're looking for your own bridge. For example, if my foot is certain distance, if I step, I'm going to maintain that certain distance. I'm not going to be changing that distance. So in essence, I'm looking for those bridges. So that's what searching means. Kiu means bridge. So you can look at it. Chum Kiu is a bridge that takes you from Tao to Bilji, okay, from developmental stage to application stage. So that is what the bridge is all about. Chum Kiu introduced a lot of new techniques. So let's break it down and look at each areas. First, we have what we call stances. Okay? In Tao, you have Yi Kim Ma, which allow you to develop very strong balance, allow you to sink the weight to have a very strong stability. But in the application stage, balance and stability is not enough. You must learn how to move. So balance and mobility. So the first stance in Chum Kiu is what we call Yao Ma, Zhou Ma. When you pivot left foot, so both feet is parallel, okay? This become Yao Ma, means right side stance. Zhou Ma, left side stance. So this is first introduction of right stance and left stance. So because human beings are symmetrical, we don't really, in a Wing Chun system, we don't really look at the front and back as much as right and left, right and left. So at this stage, you can still use both hands and both feet. So Yao Ma, Zhou Ma, right side stance, left side stance. So we have what we call side stance. Next stance, we have what we call back stance. Okay? Basically, it's when you step forward, when you have a foot that is stepping forward and then the other foot follows. This is what we call back stance. So let's look at it from the side. Okay, Yi Kim Ma is what we call a basic stances where all other stances come from. So if you pivot one foot out, side stance. So my orientation is right and left. Now if I turn my whole body facing this way, now this becomes a back stance. So there's a difference in how you face that determines the difference in the stances. Why? Because in essence, the structure is the same. Okay, the structure for side stance in the legs is same structure as you are doing the back stance. Okay? Again, in order to apply your tools in combat, okay, in a combat is very sophisticated environments. You must do something that is natural, and you must do something that is simple. So everything within Wing Chun is economy of motion and simple and direct. So we don't have too many variations in the techniques because that way you can really apply it in actual self-defense. So those two, Yao Ma, Zhou Ma, Hao Ma, consists of two basic new stances in the Chum Kiu level. Next, we're going to go into footwork. Again, you can look at stances as like the beginning and the ending of every motion within the body. Because once you stop, you're in some kind of stances. But in actual situations, in application, your body is never stop in motion. It's always constantly moving. So mobility is one of the most important attributes in the Chum Kiu level. So now let's look at the mobility, which consists of footwork. In Chum Kiu, we have three basic footwork as an introduction. First is based on the side stances, Yao Ma, Zhou Ma. Okay? When you advance to the side, okay, we call bracing motions. We call this side step as a bracing. Okay? The purpose is that you want to be able to go out or go in between your opponent's attack. Okay? Let's look at what we call outside bracing. You step to the side and brace back in. Step to the side, brace back in. Okay, against a straight line attack, you might want to avoid that energy. So therefore, you step out and come back to the center. That's what we call outside bracing. Next, you have the reverse, called inside bracing. Attack coming from outside, you have an advantage in the inside. So you turn and brace. Turn and brace. Turn and brace. Okay. Again, let's look at those two bracing. Okay, you have brace out. You have brace in. So one is step, turn for the outside. Step, turn. You go out and then back in. The other one is turn and step. Turn and step, which is inside bracing. Okay. Those footwork allow you to make the proper angle adjustments with the minimum of motions, okay, staying consistent with economy of motion, okay. So you have side bracing. Next, we have what we call big ma, means to press forward. In Wing Chun, as you advance, you have a lot of basic technique. It's very effective, okay, such as the hands, okay, fire like a machine gun. So therefore, you must have footwork to support that. Because you can't have a hand that is traveling, throwing 6, 7, 8 punches per second, and then the footwork is stepping slow like that. So you must have a footwork that matches the hand speed. So this big ma not only allow you to travel forward, but allow you to make the small shuffle step very, very fast. Okay? So allow you to constantly eating up your opponent's space by pressing it. That's why we call this big ma. Okay, again, step, slide. Step, slide, okay? So the body structure is the same as the side stance, okay? So one more time. You can see this is what we call big ma, stepping and slide, okay? Big ma is the front foot advance, back foot follows, okay? The last one is called biu ma, okay? Biu in Wing Chun means to thrust, okay? It's a strong motion, involve the whole body. So how is that being applied? When you advance with the back foot going straight in, okay, it's a full step, which normally carries more momentum, more energy. So as a thrust, we go forward, okay? So when you have a back foot advance, go straight out, okay? That's called thrusting. So you have basic fundamental footwork being introduced at this level with the side steps, front step, okay, both with the front foot or build with the back foot. So those are our basic fundamental steps that allow you to have wheels on your cilium tau. Okay, so mobility plus the body unity of cilium tau. Now you have seen the stances and footwork. Let's look at some of the new hand techniques, arms technique within the Chum Kiu level. In an offensive system like Wing Chun, okay, every part is used. The hands, the forearm, and the elbow. So in the Chum Kiu, one of the first techniques being introduced is builds out forward, which expresses the forearm energy, and you have what we call pai zhang, okay? It's an elbow slice technique. So now you're being introduced an elbow technique called pai zhang. Then you have some other techniques that goes back into the punching. Okay, most of the time when Chun, people look at it as a straight line system. You always go straight. But in reality of combat, straight line attack is important. But you also have to have the curved line attack, such as a hook or uppercut. Okay, so we do have that in the Wing Chun system. Where do you find that? In the textbook. Textbook is what the form is. So in Chum Kiu, we have some of the curve technique, such as uppercut. Okay, from the forms, This is called Chum uppercuts. And as well as some of the diagonal, different diagonal side punches. So those are some of the new hand techniques. The elbows, the uppercuts, and the angle we'll call parry, outside parry punches. Okay? Later on, as I demonstrate the form, you see if you can identify those techniques. Now, in addition to the offensive techniques, there are some of new defensive techniques. Okay, one of them is what we call Quan Sao. Okay, looks like a Bong Sao motion, but in essence, you're using these techniques as a way to intercept, as a way to jam your technique together. When you have a Bong and a Tan Sao or Wu Sao, we call it Quan Sao. Okay, also Lan Sao. Lan in Chinese means to fence. So you're fencing off certain space. Obviously, that space is yourself. Okay? You engage with a Bong, you come in with strong energy. So you cut your distance, allow the energy to go past you. So you develop a Lan Sao. So that's also seen in the form. So you have a new technique, Quan Sao, Lan Sao. So those are more of a defensive nature. Again, Wing Chun is not a defensive art, because if you're going to do combat, okay, has to be offensive. You have to take the initiative. So every defensive posture is to set up your opponent so you can express your offensive techniques. The last group of new technique within the Chum Kiu form I want to discuss is one of my favorite. It's kicking. Okay, so again, in reality of combat, you're going to strike, you're going to grab, you're going to lock, and of course, you're going to kick. Wing Chun, we have a saying, every step is a kick. Every step, not just a simple step forward. In Chum Kiu, you introduce two of the most fundamental kicks. Okay, now a lot of time we say fundamental. You look at, oh, this is basic stuff, but fundamental is the essence. Okay, without those two kicks, your other variations in kicks will lose its effectiveness. Okay, the human body, the strongest part within the legs is the heel. Okay, the heel. You know, every day you walk on your heel. Okay, every time we put our feet down, it's the heel. So that becomes a very strong structure for us to put the kicks, to rely on kicks onto that particular strong structures. So both of the kicks within the Wing Chun, what we call a front kick and a side kick, utilize the heel. And let's look at it from a structural point of view. Okay. The heel is being the contact point. Okay. You flex your foot. Okay, so you can expose your heel. Now this is what we call zeng ge, because my body is maintaining straight. Straight. And notice my structure is still maintaining the stadium toe structure. In addition to the front kick, you have what we call side kick. Sometimes, if you have opponents from the side and it's within your kicking distance, then side kick becomes appropriate. Okay, or you can turn and then kick him with front kick. Depends on the time and space. Depends on the situations. Okay, so front kick and side kick both are fundamentally. It covers the boundaries for the kicking. So side kick. Okay, when we practice side kick, you can start like a front kick, step, kick. Okay, with the front kick, same thing. When you do side kick, step, kick. So this is dealing with the body. Okay, turning. So we call that side kick because in essence, come from the side. Now you notice I've been kicking low, never above my waist. Okay, because again, economy of motion. You don't want to kick above that in a real situation. Just like I probably is not going to use my hand to punch somebody's knee. There's always time or place for everything, but you have to maintain the principle of economy of motion. So we have a saying in Wing Chun, we never kick above the waist. Okay, it's for safety factors as well as for economy of motion. Okay, going back to the structure, side kick. When you do a side kick with the heel exposed, with all the joints straight, so all your energy is being expressed at the final heel. The expression, the energy coming out from the heel. So again, it's one of the most strongest technique in martial arts. all system of martial art has side kick. So front kick, quick, short, powerful. Side kick is one of the long extension that you can do within the Wing Chun systems. Okay, let's review some of the new techniques being introduced in the Chum Kiu. Okay, again, everything began with a proper stance. Okay, side stance. This is Yao Ma, Zuo Ma. Then you have a back stance. Okay, simply that means your orientation is facing to the side. So you have a front and a back position. When your orientation is right and left, then you don't have a front and back. You only have right and left. So you have two types of stances, the side stance and the back stance. But in structure, they're the same. Then again, we'll go into the footwork. Footwork, you have bracing, outside bracing, inside bracing. Okay, after bracing, you have to learn how to move laterally. Okay, step slide for quick advances, or for strong energy, large steps. You have your biu ma, which the back foot crosses the front foot, taking a full step. Biu ma. Okay, so fundamental steps allow you to start to utilize your feet. Mobility is most important. If you can't move, you can't deliver your offensive or defensive capabilities. Okay. Now some of the offensive hand we have, new technique, Pai Zhang, Cao Kun, Xiu Kun, diagonal punch. Okay. Straight punch, you've seen it in Silim Tao. Uppercut being introduced. Outside parry being introduced here. So they represent different angle of attack. Okay, some of the defensive hand, Quan Zao, Lan Zao, Lan Zao. So Quan Zao, Lan Zao. Then last, we're talking about kicks. You have a fundamentally front kick, then you have a side kick. Front and the side. So those are the fundamental technique as something new that you can play with in the Chum Kiu system. Okay, now you have seen the Chum Kiu form with regular speed, okay, with regular energy. Let's look at it one section at a time and break it down into more details, okay? The beginning, same as Silim Tao. Open up of E.G. Kamiya Ma. Now in Silim Tao, you draw the hand down, crosses the center line, bring your hands up to the middle gate, pull back. In Chum Kiu, if you notice, there's a slight difference. Hands down, but it has an inward rotation, okay? Because now that you are learning how to develop it into two-hand Quan Sao system, you must learn how to develop the flexibility in the elbow. So the opening expresses that. Okay, now, beginning stage, your punches come here. then goes out. Okay, now that you have passed that level, so wherever your fist is, should be able to fire out from wherever the starting position is. So from here, shoots out. So more natural, okay? But it's still elbow down, straight punch, okay? So that's like the beginning variations, okay? After the punch, you have a double biu sao or zam sao, okay? Zam in Chinese means rest. You're basically resting your hands onto your opponent's bridge, okay? I will show you the application later. So after biu sao, then you sink into hao ma, right back stance with the elbow technique. Left back stance with the elbow technique, okay? Right back stance with the elbow. The next, biu sao up to your higher gate. Then sink the elbow into double tan sao. Pot, 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 palm, 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 okay? Then comes over with lan sao, quan sao, lan sao, quan sao, lan sao, quan sao. Then from here, notice my hand is not on my center. It's by my elbows. Drop the elbow, pull the energy back, and punch same time. Okay? Okay, now we're going to talk about section 2. Okay, begin with a back stance, lan sao. Then it's a kao sao, front kick, quan sao with a side step. Then this is where the token, the uppercut, then fuk sao, back. And repeat same thing on the side. Lan sao, kao sao, jing ge, quan sao with a side step, quan ma, cao kun, fuk sao, chun sao, back. Okay? Now, this time, you see the form is not just turning now. This time, you actually see the motions. Okay? Your body actually moving. Okay? So it's even more important that you maintain your body structures. That's again searching. You're searching for those identity of a good structure. So you're not going to be stepping 1 and then 2 like this. Okay? Or you're not going to be having your hands too far and one time having your hands too close. So the self-structure, okay, the body mechanics has to be consistent. That is one of the most important things that you have to search for. Third section. Kick. Okay, this is called dai bong sao. Okay, in Chum Kiu, you have a low bong sao. In Silum Tao, you have a high bong sao. Tan, step slide, dai bong sao, dai bong sao. From here, double jut. You notice my foot, the timing is the same time with the hand. So I'm using my whole body to express the hand technique. Again, you're using the whole body unity. Okay? The whole body pushes up. Everything is done with the whole body. Front kick, big ma, low bong sao. Okay? Consistently with the same speed for proper timing training. 1. 1. So you're not going to be doing this. 1, 2, 3. Okay? The timing will be off. Okay? 1. Jut sao with the whole body. Push up with the whole body. Now next, you have 2 kicks. There's actually 2 variations. Okay? Grandmaster Yiman, when he does his Chum Kiu form, what he does is called facing and a front kick, and comes down with a bracing stance. Okay, called 對形正腳. 對形 means facing, 正腳 front kick. So looks like a side kick because he's turning. But actually, if you break it down, it's turn, kick, and down. So in essence, it's a front kick. There's a second variation you can do. It's actually 45 degrees. You look at the target, side kick, and then comes down. So you can either do a front kick with a turning, or you can do a side kick. Let's watch that again. Okay, front kick with a facing. Side kick. Gum sao, punch, punch, finish. So you see the kicks have those 2 variations there. Okay. The last part is 3 comes out. Now in the cilium tau comes out, you have a straight down motion. Again, that's more the developmental stage. You learn how to channel that energy down, learn how to relax, okay, and then also train your shoulder. Now, more of an application, you must have a proper angle for the comes out. Okay, so those are some of the details within Chum Kiu. So what I'd like to do now is introduce my assistant, Jeremy Rorak. He is my assistant in the museum as an instructor, but he's a senior certification instructor under the Yip-Man system, certified by the Wenchuan Athletic Associations. So Jeremy is going to demonstrate some of the common mistakes. Let's go through section 1, see some of the things I can point out here. In combat, in application, what is more important is efficiency. Okay? Right now, if you notice that his weight is in the back foot. So if he were going to strike with the elbow this way, or forward energy is going to come into a challenge, it doesn't take too much to do that because he's not centered. So he lost the original idea of cilium tau, maintaining the center. So because the weight is not properly centered. So let's shift that back. Now he have a better structure because weight is still maintaining the center. Now the structure is strong. Okay? So as we turn and shift, very easy to go outside and become one-sided. Again, our human structure is two-sided, right hand and left hand. So when you turn, you want to maintain your center line. So it's 50-50 weight. Okay, please continue.